Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's doing well today. Today is Sunday, and we have another fun episode. So I want to say hi and thank you to everybody for joining me. So let me just pop into chat real quick and say hi to a couple people. So we have Shift Kicker in. Thank you for being here. Brown Sugar, thank you for being here. Me, thank you for being here. I appreciate you doing a mod thing for me. Greatly appreciate it. How you doing, Dust Logic? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. We're going to wait for a couple of people to come in. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about the Tahoe Casino Horde. This is something that I came across the other day. Thought it would be something of interest. This is going to be talking a little bit about some Morgans that were done. I'll talk to you a little bit about the story, how that was found. Hey, morning, Roxilla, Jackalope. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. And then kind of go over the Heritage Auction site. We'll kind of talk about some of the coins that are there. There's quite a few amazing coins that are on this particular one. So if you are a Morgan fan, this may be something you want to stick around and watch. Captain Vic, BH Customs, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for stopping in this morning. And then what we'll do once that's done, we'll kind of wrap it up with talking a little bit about a couple articles that I ran across, some research that I've done regarding collecting numismatics, and while doing numismatics, why I should say doing numismatics is a better strategy than collecting things like limited edition or original artwork. Now, if you can collect the other and you still enjoy it, doesn't mean you have to stop doing it. But when you're talking about return on investment, numismatics are still up there. There's been a lot of things that have gone on. Roxil or John Shank, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here this morning. Thank you very much. So I think today's going to be full of some good information. Hopefully you guys find it. Hey, Brother Rat, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here this morning. Now, I'm going to check a couple things. I do believe that we've got... I do believe that we have the commands in. I'm going to run a test. They should be up. I haven't seen the CloudBot in yet. I may have to jump in and reset that, but we had slots working the other day. I'm going to probably going to have to jump back into CloudBot and reset that, turn it off, and then turn it back on. I might also need to turn off the other. Actually, it's not on subscribers all, so let me go ahead and shut this off. Turn this back on, see if we can't get it on. It should be on here in just a few moments. Check and see. But we did, come on, stay on, there we go. Let me check one other setting just to make sure. Modules are on, custom commands are on. So we'll give it just a few moments. We should see it pop into chat. Hey, what's going on, Compton? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you stopping by. Again, I think today's going to be a pretty good discussion. The story about the Lake Tahoe collection hoard is pretty cool. And I think you guys are going to like that. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to walk through the Heritage Auction site, kind of talk to you a little bit about what's going on. Jody Greenwood, Azure Blue, thank you for coming in. What's going on, Eric? I appreciate that. Yep, smashing that like button is always a good thing. It says that I have some issues with my stream, so hopefully it's not affected. I think we're having internet issues here locally. We'll check it out. Hey, Ringmaster Ray, appreciate you popping in before church. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you, bud. So I'll give it just a few more seconds, let a few more people come in. Again, you guys, I appreciate y'all stopping by, showing the channel some love. I really do appreciate the support. Try to provide some good content for you on the weekends and give you some information that hopefully can get you in a position where you have either a better deal or a better understanding of something. BH Custom says, I'm 30 minutes from Lake Tahoe right now. Lake Tahoe is fabulous, man. I love Lake Tahoe. It's so gorgeous up there. It's the biggest little city, or that's Reno, biggest little city in the world. But I really enjoy Lake Tahoe. It's absolutely gorgeous there. It's the only place where I've ever skied into a lake. So, man, it was just before I went to the Navy. Had an opportunity to go there, and they were doing these ski runs, and I was watching these people ski, and it was like, oh, this is amazing. And they were wearing shorts, and they had their like bikini tops on, or they had their swim shorts on, and they were skiing, and they were doing there's a ramp into the water, and they were doing like flips and all sorts of stuff, and then landing in the water. And they had a couple divers that were standing on each side, and they would go down and grab the skis and help them out and do whatever. And that was wicked cool. So I had to try it. So it was not graceful by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a lot of fun. Lake Tahoe is a cool place. Absolutely a cool place. I'm heading to Houston. I am sorry. So you're only actually 3 hours away from me. When are you going to be in Houston? Rockzilla, I am 3 hours from Lake Tahoe. That's pretty cool. Yeah, see, I'm like 29 hours from Lake Tahoe, 27 hours from Lake Tahoe. So, no, it's probably, yeah, 29 hours, I think, from Lake Tahoe. Being in Texas, it's a long, long drive. But yeah, let me know when you're headed to Houston. Again, I know you're on the road, so be well, drive safe. Oh, I got to show you this. Today I am sporting the King Turd shirt. Okay, so when Miss Coin Crew comes in, I got to let her know that I am sporting that. I think that she will appreciate that. This is something that I got from them when I was in Tulsa, and so every once in a while I wear it just to sport it. It's a lot of fun. Serpent Silver, I skied on a frozen lake in Illinois and was knocked unconscious when I hit the ice. That doesn't sound like fun. It just doesn't sound like fun. But yeah, Tahoe's absolutely a I deliver on Tuesday AM and then reload back. Okay. Yeah, there's no way I can get there on Tuesday. I was hoping that if it had been Thursday or something, that maybe I could have went out there and visited for a little while, but I'm not going to be able to get out there on Tuesday. Next time you come, let me know. We'll coordinate a plan. We'll meet up sometime, because that would be cool. Because Texas 3 hours is not a big drive, so we do that pretty frequently. BH, send me a Morgan from there. Yeah, we're going to get into that right now. So, hey, Kanzi, what's going on? I appreciate it. I'm relegated to Carhartt and Dickies. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's a lot of fun. I just support Coin Crew, and it's a lot of fun. I don't have that problem, Eric. I am a short dude, so I don't have issues with shirts being too short or too small. I'm a little tiny dude. Big belly, but little short dude. All right, well, let's go ahead. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? I said hi to Serpent Silver. See, said hi to Kanzi, making sure I got a hold of everybody. I think I do. Again, make sure you like that up. If you wouldn't mind, share out the stream. I'm going to get ready to start talking about the Lake Tahoe Horde, a little bit about the story. Now, the story that I'm going to be talking about, or the commentary I'm going to be providing, is coming from a story that Gray Sheet did on this particular horde in relation to the heritage auction that's going to be done. So I'm just going to be talking about this, talking about the location and what kind of happened in Tahoe, kind of the gold rush time frame, and why this is a significant issue or item within the Tahoe area. Again, when you're talking about Lake Tahoe, you're talking, you know, a couple hours from Carson City, which is the capital of Nevada. So there's a lot of cool things in this particular story, and we'll be getting to that here in just, I'm not quite a dwarf serpent. I am short, especially when you're standing next to somebody like um, Rob Feinstreser or Mad Stacker or somebody like that. I'm a small dude, but it's okay. What I lack in stature, I make for in sarcasm and wit. Oh, by the way, I don't know if many of you people know that my wife and I have been having some relationship issues. And so we went to a therapist. And so the next morning, I went outside and started putting a coat of wax on the John Deere and then pulled out my guitar and sang it a ballad. My neighbor came by and said, "What in the hell are you doing?" Like, well, yesterday at the therapist, he said I should do something to a tractor. Anyway. Okay, let's talk about this before I get booed off stage. I've already had a couple people leave. Brian and the twins, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. I'm going to continue with the dad jokes periodically, but let's go ahead and get into this Lake Tahoe story and talk a little bit about what's going on. So have you ever heard the situations where people are in the right place, the right time, and they just get this an amazing thing? Well, this is kind of what happened in this particular story. So a couple things. This particular casino had been around since about 1904. And the year that this happened in was 1949. So the casino had been in place for about 45 years, 43 years. Now, ironically, the owners who collected this at this particular time were only the owners of the casino for about a year. It changed hands. Compton, wow, you never heard that one. That's okay. Good, Eric. That's awesome. I'm glad. I like stupid jokes. I'm going to try and find them and do that a little bit more at the beginning of my streams. I think I'm going to start all my streams off that way. Because again, you know, laughter is the best medicine. So, but anyway, so they only owned Tahoe Tavern Casino for about a year. So again, when you're talking about this particular situation, you're talking about something that is very, very, very narrow in the scope of time, and the likelihood of this happening is just it's just amazing. So when looking at this, what happened was the father at the time yelled out to his boys, and the boys said that they were going to go do a run. They were going to go to the bank and they were going to pick up some Morgan dollars for the slot machines. Now, back in these days, they actually used Morgan dollars, peace dollars, and things of that nature for the slot machines. Now, anybody who's ever utilized a slot machine prior to the new age where you print a ticket, you actually, your hands were dirty, you had stuff all over, you know, stuff was nasty, but you would actually feed the token in and you would pull the lever. And so they went to go pick up a bunch of Morgans. Well, on their way back, one of the boys was actually looking through some of the bags and stopped and said, when we get back, we got to take these straight to the back. They're not going to go to the casino floor. We got to review these, because they started to notice that of the dollars that they had picked up, a good majority of them were BU from the Carson City Mint. Now, anybody who knows anything about Morgans knows that the Carson Cities are highly collectible, and they were even collectible during this time frame. But the thing that caught the brothers by surprise, the thing that they really wanted to look at and say that that really kind of caught their attention, was the fact that they were finding a number of coins from 1879, because that had a very, very, very small mintage. Now, when you look at, Brian, we'll talk about that here in a little while, okay? When you look at the mintage of those, that particular year, there's only 756,000. And so they have this bag, and when they open it up, there's a large number of these 1879 BU Carson cents. Now we're talking between MS61, MS62, MS63. Now these are highly coveted, and they had amazing sharp detail, a good central strike, just an absolutely beautiful coin. And it absolutely caught the attention of the brothers. So they started to go through and they started to look at some of these items. They also found 1893, which is the year the Carson City Mint ceased doing minting altogether. And then for a couple years, I don't know if anybody is aware of this, but from 1893 for about 5-6 years, they stayed open as the U.S. Assay Office. And then after that, they ended up closing their doors. But they actually were the Assay Office for a number of years after ceasing mint operations. And so to find these 2 years and to find such a large amount of coins in such good condition was something that was, I mean, just absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show the my desktop, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you the Heritage Auction site. And I'm going to get down here and see. What in the world is going on? Sorry, folks. There we go. All right. So let's do this. I'm actually going to zoom this up full size, or pretty close to full size. I'm going to hide my ugly mug here for just a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and go over here. So now we're actually looking at the Heritage Auction site. And you can see now the URL is here. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to go ahead and paste that into chat. Let me get the chat window over here real quick. Oops, wrong one. That's not the window that I want. All right. Let's go ahead and throw that in here. So this is the URL that I'm looking at. So if you guys want to follow along, you can do that. If you're on a cell phone device, obviously wait until the stream is done to go ahead and go look at that. But you can copy that, go in, bookmark that piece, and then come look at that a little bit later. But I'm going to be kind of walking through because there's a large number of coins. Now, the one thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to register. If you haven't registered, you're going to need to do so. You can simply click on, now you can see that I'm already in because it shows up as my heritage, but there'll be a link here to sign in and register. You go ahead and register, enter your information. It's going to ask you to put in your credit card information. So if you're going to do a bid, so you put in that, put in your eBay and your PayPal information if you have one. They do that, so they check the quality of feedback, check your reliability, things of that nature. Heritage is really, really good and stoop on making sure they have good quality content, but they also want to make sure that the utilizers of the software are reliable, and they want to make sure that they have good, solid information. And then once you get into here, then you'll be able to navigate to the altcoins, and then you'll see the 2023 August 14th Tahoe Tavern Casino Collection, auction number 63238. Now, once you get to this location, you just come over here and you click on Browse All Items, and then you'll get this really cool listing of the items, and it'll give you some information. So you'll see that some of the coins here, right, are fairly decent priced. Now, when you get into some of these, again, you're going to be talking about 1878 cc's, you're going to be talking about 1882s, you're going to be talking about some key years here in this particular set. And some of them are pretty good. Now, when you go into actually look at one of these, you'll actually see that it'll load a preview item up here across the top for your additional ones, so you can continue to look through. As you go through, you can click here and it'll take you through. You can see the general scope and price range in which these are going for, and then obviously you're going to see some of the high dollar ones. Now, what's really cool about this is if you've never been on the Heritage Auction site, you get quite a bit of really good quality detail when you're looking at the particular image. So you can see a really good capture. This is an NGC slabbed coin, 1878 cc and MS60. It's going for $290. But if you click on the image, it actually takes you to an area where you can zoom into the image with actually great detail. So you get a really good, solid quality image. So you can look for any potential VAMs or anything like that. You can actually walk through, look at it, see if you see anything, look for any doubling in the letter, maybe in the stars, look for anything doubling in here, look for the hot lips variety, look for doubling in the ear. You can look for certain dye markers and things of that nature to tell you if you have any types of specific VAM or things of that nature. So there's a really good quality of photo when you're looking at these particular items within this auction site. Now you can go through, you can fit it back to screen if you want to. You can full view size. If for me, having eye issues, I like to view things a little bit lighter realm. So I can go down here and I can turn down the image to make it easier on my eyeballs if I want to do that. If you need it brighter, then you can raise the brightness up and you can see that. So that's really cool. Once you're done, you can click on this X and then it'll take you to the next step. You can simply navigate and you can see that there are some of these that are fetching fairly high dollar amounts. Now, the one I really wanted to show you is I wanted to show you this one right here. So this particular coin is an absolutely wonderful specimen. Okay, so I'm going to pull up this so you can see it first. This is an 1879 CC. You can see it does have the Tahoe Council then, or the Tahoe Casino Collection. And then when you go into this particular item, when you look at this coin, you see the cheek marks, you see the scuff marks and stuff, but you can look at some, maybe this isn't the coin. No, this isn't the coin. I think it was the next one over. On one of these, you can see some light doubling here along the edge, and you can actually see it fairly clearly. Now, the VAM isn't listed on these particular items, but there are opportunities. Let me see if I can find the right one. Maybe it's this one. I should have marked them better. No. Oh, you can see a little bit here. I don't know if that's a mark or if that's a doubling on the chin. But anyway, so you can get in really close. You can look at these and you can see some really good detail. And I mean, I'm zoomed in quite a ways, so you'll be able to look at anything, be able to identify anything. Now, you're not going to be the only one to do this. There's going to be a large number of people who are going to be able to look at this. So some of these, when they're looking at the details, especially in the rarity of the coin, they're going to be looking at these particular items. But I wanted to kind of show you this. Now, not all of the coins are highly sought after. Not all the coins have been bid on yet. So if you scroll over here to the right, you can see that there's some of them that really don't even have any bids on them yet. There have been, see, like this one right here. Doesn't really have any bids. It's listed at $2 for an 1882 CC. Now, do I expect that to change? No. Yes, I would expect that to change. I would not expect this to remain the same. But if you're interested in doing that, again, you can put in your initial bid and you can actually look at some of these things. So if you're interested in looking at these, this is a really cool hoard. There's a lot of cool history about this particular hoard. And again, when you have certain collections, there's people who are going to be utilizing collections or things of this nature to collect. So you may be able to get one or two of these and then have a number of people, register their coins in collections or sets, and then you'll be able to find out who has the other coin. So if you decide that you want to collect a number of these within this particular hoard, then there's going to be the opportunity for you to look up the number and then find out who purchased it. Yeah. So again, I just wanted to share this with you. I thought this was really cool. This was something that I find extremely interesting. I like learning about these types of hordes, being in the right place, the right time. For instance, the Kentucky horde, where the guy was metal detecting, looking for a hammer or something that was lost, and then he stumbled on all of those gold coins. Those are amazing stories. They don't happen obviously very often, but when they do, there's a lot of intrigue behind that. Someone needs to buy a cheaper one from this auction, crack it out, and resubmit and see if it comes back the same grade. Yeah, and I know a lot of people that have that same idea. Or they talk about those same things, because are they graded at this particular level? Let me click on this one. Are they graded this particular level? Now, you can see there's a really good mark here on the cheek. You look at the detail in Liberty, it's good. It appears to have nice, clean fields. Now, the only thing you really can't see in this is the shimmer. In some of these you can, so I'm going to go back ahead and go back out. When you look at some of these, you can definitely see I think this is a good example. So when you look at some of these coins, you can definitely see that they have really nice luster. They have really good detail. So I would be curious of the same, because it makes you wonder if they're doing this because of the name. If you sent this in, would it come back at a lower grade? If you sent this to PCGS, would they cross grade it the same, right? Or would they? Because I don't remember how that works. They'll crack it if it lateral grades or if it grades across, but they won't do it if it grades the same or down. They won't crack it. It'd be interesting to document this particular coin, take the number, submit it, and then resubmit to them saying, hey, this was the same coin. I don't know what would happen in that regard. I know that once they did that, they would take this listing off and then put yours on. But it would be interesting. Now, I'm with Compton. I don't know that I'd be willing to send 300 or $350 for a Carson City Morgan dollar in MS63 condition and take and crack it out. I know people who do that with other coins. They have, MS63 books that they collect. They get all these varieties. I don't know that I could do that, especially with this high grade coin. So I would have a hard time personally doing so. I don't know if that's something that I could do. But it definitely would be a test to the grading company. Am I recommending that? No. But again, I think it would be something that would be interested to see. It'd be interesting to look at, to see if it did come back. There's some of them here, like this one, when you look at it, you get in really close. I have an MS63 Carson City from 1883 that has about the same bag marking. Mine has extraordinary luster. This one appears to have pretty decent luster. Unfortunately, you can't really tell by looking at the slab. You would need to see it. Would you crack a GSA CC to submit? If I was to do that, then I would want to make sure that I was with somebody who really, really understood the quality of the coin. I don't know that I would do that personally. However, in certain grades, if you had somebody who's really good at grading and could really tell you that, yes, this is going to get better than BU, we're talking, 65, 64, then maybe. Would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't recommend it. Not without having a professional who understands grading. I would make sure that they really understood. And I'm not talking about a buddy who's good at grading. I'm talking about somebody who does this for a living. I know in a lot of cases, yeah, and I was just about to go there, Compton. They will grade it in a GSA holder. But yeah. So I don't know that you would need to crack it out in that particular regard. Now, could you do it again? Yes, you could. I wouldn't recommend it. But again, there are some people that, well, ANAX, there's a lot of stuff that ANAX does that doesn't happen with PCGS or NGC. One of the things that we talked about, and I think we talked about this the other day in one of the streams, Livecoin Q&A actually talked about it on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. And that was the fact that people are saying, well, I sent in a PCGS with a known VAM and they didn't list it. And I have a problem with that. Well, PCGS won't list that VAM unless it shows up in the top 100. And so if you're going to submit something with a VAM that you find, let's say you find a GSA holder that has a specific VAM that you want to get done, and it doesn't show up in the top 100 VAMs, it's not going to get listed under PCGS, probably not even on NGC, but ANAX will do it. The question is, do you want ANAX to grade a high dollar coin, or would you rather have it go to PCGS? And that's something that you have to weigh out yourself. Now, I know in a lot of cases, people were like, man, I would never have ANAX done. I would never submit to ANAX, but I would. In fact, I have, and I just submitted photos to Livecoin Q&A. I found a cleaned, I don't know if it's cleaned or not, but I found a cleaned Buffalo nickel, 1934 Denver, that had a repunch mint mark 001. Has all the markers, sent it into him, and I told him, I think this is what it is. It says the coin was cleaned, but I can't really look at it and tell whether it's cleaned or not. But can you confirm that this is in fact RPM 001? And they reviewed it, sent me back an email saying, yes, it is in fact an RPM 001. Now, the person that I bought the slab from probably didn't know that it was a repunch mint mark. They probably didn't know that they had that particular variety. And so in that particular case, I'm going to send it into ANAX. I'm going to crack it. I'm going to send it into ANAX. I'm going to have it graded, and I'm going to have the variety put on there for this particular coin. Now, I'll do it because the other thing that I'm hoping for is I'm hoping that there's some unique toning on this particular coin. I'll do a short on it, probably release it here in a couple days, and you'll be able to see that. NGC will only grade varieties included in the Variety Plus database. Yeah, and PCGS will only do them if they rate in the top 100. There's only specific ones that they will do as well. They want to attribute every error. They want to attribute every repunch mint mark. They want to attribute every DDO or DDR. And so you really have to know whether or not they're in that. Because when you send them in, if you're going to pay the extra and it's not something that they list, you need to be aware of that. So you need to look at that and understand that. Now, again, when we're talking about these Carson cities, there's the potential that there could be some VAMs, that there could be some things, there could be some findings on these particular coins. So the reason that I wanted to show you this and go through this, one, I found the story absolutely amazing. You go to the bank and you just happen to go through and you get a bag of dollar coins, and it just so happens to be CCs. I think the story is amazing. I love the fact that that comes out. I love the fact that these things happen, and they're gonna happen from time to time. And again, you know, we have people all the time who are looking at various things. We're looking at people who find information. They look at penny collections. They look at different what's the term I'm looking for? I just went blank. Different boxes of coins, and they find and they identify all sorts of different varieties and issues. So you can come across some really cool finds. Watching somebody do, and I don't remember who it was, they were going through bankrolls and they found walking Liberty halves. Okay, cool. You know, you don't find those things very often, but they're still out there. You can potentially find collection dumps in looking at coins of that nature. And the reason that I like this particular story, the reason that I like this particular option is because this is something that can happen to anyone. This is something that, this is something that can be found by people who want to do the work by coin searching and by hunting rolls and by looking through pocket change and things of that nature. You can find some really, really cool things. Now, are you going to find Carson City dollars coming from a bankroll these days? Probably not. The likelihood that you'll find a roll, unless somebody turned them in and you have a relationship with your bank, the likelihood that you'll find those and be able to get those is slim to none. Now, doesn't mean that you can't stumble upon them. Doesn't mean that you can't go to a garage sale and stumble across somebody who happens to find a coin collection and they have a bunch of stuff, they just don't understand what they have. Or they have old rolled coins and you buy them and you can find something really cool. There are still methods and there are still ways in which you can find things like that. But again, they're so rare. You can find them metal detecting. Again, I talked earlier about the Kentucky hoard. Of all the gold that was found, I can't even begin to fathom being able to find a hoard of, what was it, a couple hundred gold coins to the tune of an astronomical number. I can't imagine being that fortunate to find that. Now, is the average person going to find that? No. In fact, when you're out there looking for metal detecting finds, unless you have good sources or good locations, it's hard to find good quality stuff. You may find some World War II buttons. You may find some good things here and there, but it's not something that just every time you go out, you're not going to hit the jackpot. Now, we have people in the stream who do a lot of this, and they can tell you that they go out and sometimes they don't find nothing. Sometimes they find good things, but it would be really cool to be able to find something like this. So I wanted to talk about this story because of that, because situations and circumstances happen. Sometimes you can stumble across things. Sometimes you can find things, and you can still find things to this day. Now, you're not going to find a collection hoard like this. Somebody might somewhere, there may still be boxes or bags of Morgan dollars hid somewhere. Somebody stuck them under the floorboard in a barn to protect them from, thieving family members. That person died. Nobody found it. The barn burned down. There could be an opportunity to find that, but again, it's not likely to find that. But when people do, it's fun to share the story. So if you're interested in looking at that, again, go register at Heritage Auction. Now, I'm not affiliated with Heritage Auction. I get nothing from promoting their site. This is a really cool hoard. I think it's a fabulous story, and I wanted to share it with everybody. Looking at the chat, William E. says, crazy garage sale finds. Yes, you can find some really cool things at garage sales. Compton says, when you're doing that, you find a lot of aluminum cans, a lot of pop tops. Yep, a lot of that kind of stuff. Old belt buckles, cotter pins, things like that. So you do find a lot of trash. But people find some really cool things. Being in Texas, we find a lot of southern-based items. You find a lot. Now, I live probably 30 minutes from the Alamo. So we have areas around here that were battlefronts and battlefields. So there's a lot of cool things that you can find here in Texas relating back to the time of Davy Crockett and things of that nature. So there's some really cool opportunities to find things. So I think that's really cool. Is there likelihood that we'll find a cache hoard of these? Probably not, but it doesn't stop a lot of people from looking. So if you're interested in doing that, you know, there's a lot of people. If you're brand new to it, you want to learn how to do it, or you want to get tips and insights, there's a lot of people who are really cool at metal detecting. Get with them. There's a lot of great channels. If people want to, just enter something into chat and I can throw some links down below. Okay, so I want to go ahead and do something right now. I do this without telling people. This is something that I do to make sure that people stay in live and engaged in chat. And the winner for today's pool is Anxious Stacker. Outstanding, Anxious Stacker. Now, it says Anxious Stacker does not subscribe to this channel, and that is absolutely wrong. I know they do. But again, congratulations, Anxious. Send me something. I've got a couple BU cents Wheaties that I'll send you. John Shank, I work like a minute and a half from the Alamo. My office is basically right across. Yeah, I'm not sure why it does that. It says there's a lot of people that aren't subscribed, but they've been subscribers for a number of months. So that happens from time to time. But anyway, Serpent Silver, you're only 10 minutes. Oh, I didn't realize you were in San Antonio. Okay, cool. I am like 30 minutes from the Alamo, but I work literally like right next to it. So pretty cool. Serpent Silver, hit me up on email. We'll get with Freaking Awesome and find a time to get together, go have lunch and stuff. I'd like to meet more San Antonio folks that are in this area. It's amazing that I meet people in my stream, but I don't meet people when I go out to the coin shops and stuff. So, but send me an email. You can go to the About Me on my page, and my email and stuff is there. Very cool. Anybody else who's in this stream that is from San Antonio, hit me up, let me know, and we'll see if we can't coordinate something to get together. If you do not have your subscription set to public, oh, that's true. That's true. You have to be a public subscriber. That may show up. I think most of the people that are in here are subscribers. If there's any non-subscribers in here today, raise your hand. Hey, Ashley Swag fam, thanks for being here. If there is somebody in here that is not a subscriber, it's really easy to do so. Over in that area down here, there's a subscribe button. Go ahead and click on that. Go find a comment, find a video like, enter something into chat. There's a notification bell that you can click on. You can click on that notification bell and it will give you notification when I either put out some videos or I do live streams. Now I do want to say that my publication release for videos had been Sunday and Wednesday. I'm dropping Sunday's videos. It's too much work to try to do that, especially getting ready to do eye surgery. So I'm going to wind down the Sunday posting. I do the live stream Saturday, Sunday, so we'll cover that on that basis. But Wednesdays, between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, I do release a video. I'm getting ready to release another video. It's one of the final ships on coins. It's on a 2-coin Viking set. So if you like Viking coins or you like longboats or things of that nature, you're into Canadian numismatics, check it out. That thing will be released at between 5:30 and 6 o'clock on Wednesday. Now, the next story that I want to bring up, the next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about an article that I came across regarding collections and numismatic and why numismatics are a better bet in collecting than collecting artwork and other types of collectible items. And it goes back about 3 or 4 years, and it talks about how art is cyclical. In the 80s, art was up. In the 90s, art was flat. Early 2000s, it went down a little bit. It started to come back up in the late to mid 08, 09, up into the early teens. It flattened back out again, and then COVID hit, and the art market really started to fall. People weren't going to galleries, people weren't looking at specific items, and the art market really started to plummet. Now, originals, there are some things, and I don't have, unfortunately, if I flip my camera over, I do collect artwork. Artwork is one of the things. That's why when you look at my coins and collectibles, the collectibles with an I instead of with an A, is designed specifically around the fact that I collect other things. Not just that, I collect gemstones, I collect artwork, limited editions. I have a couple originals. I have a couple specifically artist signed ones that are hand signed to me, along with some cool pieces of memorabilia from specific artists that I've either worked with or known over the years. So I do collect artwork, and I was reading this because I was looking at more interest of where the artwork was related to in relation to my collecting and my stacking in numismatics or semi-numismatics. And as I started reading this article, the one thing that they stated was that when you look at artwork, it is a social, kind of a social gathering, a social collective that stems pieces of art that go up, that go down. And with COVID, during the time of COVID, there was a lot of, the social interaction was broke, right? You could do a lot of things online, you could do a lot of trading and things of that nature, but there was no going to an art gallery. There was no walking through museums. There was none of that, especially in the early onset of COVID. And because of that, art kind of fell out of love with many people. And the prices had started to dramatically fall over time. Now, during that same time frame, numismatics, because it was something that, exactly what Mark Lewis said, you're spending money on money, right? No matter what you have, you still have money. Whereas if you buy art, not everybody's going to want to buy that from you, right? So you're going to have to find somebody of like interest to do that. Whereas with silver or gold or collectible numismatics, you're going to find that it's easier to sell that, it's easier to trade. You can also do that remotely. So if you look at YouTube during this time frame, YouTube numbers soared when it comes to numismatic and when it came to numismatic content. When you look at the information on online stores, numismatics shot through the roof. When you look at placements, when you look at what kind of items were going through, mints started to do things that were a lot more collectible during this time frame to start to encourage the purchase of semi-numismatic items, and we start to see these collectional sets of things. Now, they had them before, but again, you start to see a lot more start to come out, and they started to do things that were pop culture. You started to see more Avenger type stuff. You started to see more DC type stuff. You started to see more of these things that were collectible, and they started to blend into some of these other ones. You would see the trading card memorabilia doing the same thing. They started to gain in popularity. More people were at home. They were doing videos. They were doing this kind of thing, and the numbers started to go up. So because of this, the numismatic realm started to continually see this uptick. They started to see this raise in value associated with the collectability. Not only the collectability of it, but the number of people that were collecting. Now, many of you know that one thing that really turned on, hey, Shelbean, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. One thing that really turned people on to numismatics was the State Quarter series. The State Quarter series was something that really started to get people interested in numismatics. There was something that everybody was collecting it. Now, a lot of the people have stopped collecting these particular items, but it was the quarters that opened up the door for a lot of people to look at some other items. And whether it be the silver or gold, numismatic, semi-numismatic, whether they were looking at the cents, whether they were looking at nickels, whether they were looking at obsolete coinage or obsolete coinage, excuse me, there started to become more interest in some of these coins. And so relative values have crept up. Now, they haven't crept up dramatically. There hasn't been huge spikes in numismatic value, but there has been steady inclines and steady increases. We've seen this up and down cycle with a lot of people get upset when people say this, but constitutional silver. And looking at constitutional numismatics, when you're looking at things like 64 percenters or 90 percenters, because people were stocking them for weight, but they also had numismatic value. So while doing that, people were starting to look at these and starting to look at errors and varieties. Now, you could go to the bank, you could get a box, and you could sit at home, you could do this, cash it out. If you found 10 items, then the bank's basically paying you to search through. So these were things that people could do to keep them occupied and keep them engaged. And so again, through this COVID period, you saw this huge uptick in people wanting to do numismatics. Now, Eric he can also, let's see, he said, the U.S. Mint claims up to 14 million people collected state quarters. I wouldn't doubt it. There were a lot of series where they were hard to find. Delaware, if you try to find really good quality Delaware quarters, they're hard to find. A lot of times you find a quarter, let me grab one, you find a quarter and it has a line across it because people have taped them into books. And so you see half of it that's toned and the other half that's not. And you see a lot of that type of stuff. You see a lot of the, what's this stuff called? I just went blank. The green stuff that grows because of the PVC. You see a lot of that stuff on it, and the deterioration because of that green filigree stuff that grows on it because of the PVC that people were putting these types of books or holders that people were putting them into, or having them where they, again, they had them in their books. They bought low quality books because everybody was publishing the state quarter books, and they would fall out. And so people were taping them in, not realizing that by doing that, they were actually potentially harming the coin. And so, yeah, there's a lot of, not tone, it's the green stuff, it's verdigris, yeah. And it comes from PVC. And so there's a lot of things that happened during this time frame where people were collecting coins and things were just getting damaged because people didn't know how to take care of them. And so to find some of the older ones, it's really hard to find. So I can absolutely believe that 14 million people were collecting the statehood quarters. Now, as that series has gone on, a lot of that has fallen off. New people have collected, but again, another thing that has really stemmed and sparked interest is the semi-numismatics, looking at the government-backed or even the bullion markets, where they're doing a lot of these pop culture type items, engaging in that particular design work to gain additional interest. You have the stacking community. The stacking community has collected for weight for a long time, but there's some that even in the stacking community, custom pours and things like that are utilizing pop icons, things that the Joker or the Batman. Some of those coins, the colorized coins, they fetch $200, $300, $400 depending upon the variety. Not numismatic at all. Some of them are coins, right? Some of them are just pure bullion. But the advent towards that has also stemmed numismatics, and it's all you've seen numismatics rise. And the numbers have stayed steady. Whereas other collectible pieces like the artwork, because of that lack of social engagement, and again, anybody who's been to art galleries or art openings and things of that nature, it's very social environment. It's very socially driven. And so while art wanes and waves, numismatics has stayed pretty steady. And so, and looking at the collection hoard of Tahoe, and looking at the interest, you can see that there's a lot of interest that has been gained on this Tahoe HORDE because of the uptick of numismatics that has happened over the last 5 to 6 years. I just got a TwoFace Batman yesterday. A two-faced Batman. Is it Two-Face? Is it the Batman series of Two-Face? I'm not sure I'm tracking on that one. Hi Paula, how you doing? Coin Junkie, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. I do need to figure out how to get guests on here. I was going to do more of a panel, but a lot of people that I talked to were just busy. A couple of people are out of town. There's a coin show going on. So there's a lot of people out doing the coin show and supporting that. So I wasn't able to get panel members on here. But anyway, so that's basically all I wanted to go over today. Now, what I want to do now is I want to kind of look at chat and kind of talk about what are you all seeing within numismatics. So Paula, I know you're in here from a live coin Q&A. What have you seen in the trends of what's been going on as far as numismatics? Have you seen a gradual uptick? Have you seen it? The Batman villain Two-Face. Okay, yeah, that's that would be really cool. So I have Batman and I have the Joker. I'd like to get some of the other ones because they're really cool. Hey, Philip DeBoard, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here today. I know there's a couple other people that have come into the stream. There's some people that have come in and come out, and I haven't been able to say hi because I was looking at some of this information. But again, what have you seen in terms of trends? Because the two articles that I looked at were primarily dealing towards art and numismatics. Apologize, my throat is getting dry. Let's see. Wait for Paula to respond. Paula's probably busy. Let's see. I'm getting reports that shows Anxious Stacker. I don't know a lot about the subject, but definitely learning a lot from you and a few other channels. Outstanding. Now, this is, most of you are aware that I'm trying to provide more of an educational based, whereas I'm not about playing the games. No, I like to participate and watch people and root people on and stuff like that. I like to learn about different things. I enjoy the comedy. I enjoy the satire that many people bring, but I try to bring an educational component to that. Sorry, I'm not sure what the question is. So my question is, so the second part of this discussion was numismatics in relation to art. We've seen an uptick in numismatics while we've seen a downtick in the art world. Now, forgetting about art, looking at numismatics, yeah, exactly. What coin trends are you seeing? Are you seeing an increase in the interests of numismatic coins, or are you seeing more interest in the new semi-numismatics? What are you seeing? And I know you collect errors and varieties. She's a big error collector, likes to collect the old stuff. Look at the different varieties and different errors. I know that Eric Bayer is big on cents, obviously copper coins, looking at that. Paula with Live Coin Q&A, and supporting that, looking at varieties. He's got a crazy collection of RPMs. Eric, can you remind me how many of that you have? I believe it's like over 1,000 or something like that. It's an extraordinary number. Azure dealers continue to make an incredible money. Most buyers will lose when they sell their coins or rounds. The spreads on Eagles are still quite high, and most premiums have retreated as demand is low. Yeah, I can see Eagles premiums again. It depends on what your goal is. if your goal is to stack eagles, and there are people that regardless of the premiums, that's what they're stacking. They're going to be stacking eagles because that's what they like. They die hard, buy USA only coins. In fact, when Silver Seeker did a video on this, there were places that said they only buy US silver. They don't buy Canadian, they don't buy Australian. So there are a number of people that only stack, that only do the silver eagles. So it's not a 100% that people are not going to do it. It's just that there are so many other options for stacking, and there's so many cool things that are being produced. The Perth Mint has put out some fabulous coins lately. They always have fairly good qualities. The Canadian Mint has done some amazing things lately with some different varieties, or the things. I'm a Libertad fan myself, anxious. I love the Libertads, but they carry a high premium. I collect them because I enjoy them. But if I was to do something that was just stacking, then I probably wouldn't do that. I probably wouldn't mess with it. The 1873 looks like a DDO. Which 1873? My 1873 gold? Or are you talking about another 1873? If you're talking the Morgan, it's a 78. I'm not sure which 1873 you're talking about. Please clarify. So Paula said the classic coins and the key dates are always in demand. Errors are gaining interest. Now, that is something that I've noticed too. It's something that I think, again, Eric, yeah, that's exactly right. During COVID, people had time to sit down with rolls of coins and just look at them. You had, more time to be able to find things. There were a lot of educational information that came out. So the number of channels in YouTube went up dramatically. There were a lot of people offering good information. Now, there were a lot of misinformation pieces too. There's a lot of sites that offer a lot of horrible information. There are a lot of sites that have a lot of followers that just give bad information. There are different sites that produce decent quality videos, and the information's close, but it's inaccurate. But the number of sites that were done during COVID just shot through the roof. It went way up there, and so a lot of those, yeah, it definitely sparked the interest and the mind of people. Way too much bad info. Yeah, and it's this is kind of, and Paula knows this about me, because Paula and I have talked a lot, and regarding, it's like, hey, I want to learn good information. I want to share on good information. I want to make sure that the information that I'm providing is the best that it can be. And I've told Paula and Shannon and Amanda, if you see me giving incorrect information, you stop immediately and say, that's wrong. Because I want to make sure that I'm providing good information. Paula has no problem doing that. Not because she's, harsh or cruel or critical. She just wants people to have the best information they can. She is adamant about preserving this hobby. She's adamant about doing this. And you look at the folks on Livecoin Q&A, they are too. Eric Bayer, Chuck Daughtry, they are as well, right? They're absolutely on board about doing this. We have a number of auction sites that want to provide good quality information. We have a number of people that put out good quality data and they provide information. But again, we can get stuff wrong all the time. And if we're going to learn, we're going to be better about what we do, we need to be able to converse. But we also need to be able to do something that's been very difficult within society over the course of the last few years. And that is, we need to be able to agree to disagree, right? And we need to be able to do so with graciousness and tact. And I think that this community, for the most part, okay, I'm going to say for the most part, this community has done a really good job of doing that. Paula says, I have no filter. Well, you know what? Sometimes that's good. The one good thing about that, Paula, is everybody knows where you stand, right? And there's no question. If somebody says, you know, hey, Paula, what do you think? They don't have to worry about getting the runaround. They're going to know exactly what they get. If I want to get information about a particular coin, I'm going to go to whoever that person is. If I'm going to be looking at 2-cent coins, I'm going to go to Shay of Mantic Coins, right? If I'm looking at obsolete coinage, if I'm looking at 2-cent nickels or triumphs or trickles, I'm going to be going to Shay at Mantic Coins, right? If I'm going to be looking at Lincoln cents, I'm going to be going to Chuck Daughtry and Eric Bayer. Now, if they don't know the answer, and it's rare that they don't, right? Eric's learning, but Eric's got just a wealth of knowledge. They're going to get somebody, and they're going to get the information, and then they're going to do what Eric did with me yesterday, actually. We were having a conversation about some 1954S weed cents. And there was a particular item on many of the coins that we were looking at in this particular roll. And I was like, hey, this is a really cool piece. I can see a couple different things. This is what it might be. Knowing what I know about the minting process, could it be this? He would provide feedback. We had banter back and forth. And it was like, well, he's going to do some research. It's like, follow up with me. He absolutely followed up with me. We talked a little bit about it, determined that most likely the items that they were looking at were struck through grease. There were a large number of them, not sure what individually happened. He's continuing to look and see if he can find information. But as I do research and as I look through stuff, I'm going to ask him questions. He's going to provide me good, solid feedback, and he's going to continue to do research about that. Oh, outstanding. So he said that I'm going to be doing something about that, grease progression. And this is something that interests me. And again, Paula and LiveCoin Q&A have said this. Chuck Daughtry has said this to me for the last 7 months. It took me about a month to get connected to them. But ever since I was connected to them, they've told me the one thing. If you want to understand, hey, Coin Crew, thanks for coming in. If you want to learn errors and varieties, then you need to study the minting process. You need to know that forwards and backwards. You need to understand what it is. You need to understand how a master hub is made. You need to understand how a master die is made. You need to see how a working hub is made. You need to see how a working die is made. You need to see how they're done. You need to see how they're retired. You need to see how they're documented. Understand the process. What do the planchets go through? What is the cleaning process? Because as you understand the variability within the minting process, you can understand the 3 types of error types, right? PDS. We think of Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. PDS is the same thing when you're talking about errors of varieties. You got planchet, die, and strike. And so when you're looking at those particular things, understanding the makeup, understanding the structure of the minting process is really going to help you identify that. So when we were going through and we were talking about this particular error, there was something in the minting process that had to have been going on. Either something was stuck to the die, or there was something that the die was striking through. And so I'm really interested in learning more about what you've come up with. Look into die basoning. Ooh, I'm going to have to. Paula, can you type in a little bit about what die basoning is? I would love to end the stream and then come back and have her come on and talk about it. But maybe we can do a section on that. That would be a lot of fun. But so Eric, what he's going to be doing is he's going to be photographing the 36 coins that came across the 6 die pairs, and he's going to show the progression. So if you're interested in the item that we're talking about now, please go through um, and watch Copper Coins and watch Livecoin Q&A, and we'll talk about that. As I find out information, I'll be posting updates to make sure we do that. And see, Paula, this is kind of what we were talking about. So one of the conversations that we were having regarding this is, as a Greece progression, you could see where certain things were good and solid and certain things were not. But this would be a fun conversation. I would like to find a time. Paula, if you're up for it, and Eric, if you're up for it, I would like to have kind of impromptu live stream, either maybe Wednesday. We'll see what's going on. I don't know what your guys' schedule is. Eric, I don't know if you're doing any reveals. I know Chuck is going to be out, but if you're not doing any reveals, can you guys look at your schedule? Let's see what's on Wednesday. If you guys are not overly swamped, can we talk about this and maybe do kind of an impromptu review? I would love to go over that. Let's talk about this offline. I don't want to commit you guys to anything by doing this, but if you guys are interested in doing something like that, let me know, because I think there's some good conversation and things going on here, that this would be a really good learning opportunity. And so if you guys are interested in doing that, I think it would be great. So let me know. You can text me. Eric, I think both Eric and Paula, you guys both have my telephone number. If not, I know you both have my email, so send me an email. We'll discuss that, and we'll see if we can't go ahead and put something together, because that was something that was unique. That was something, there was a lot of good information that was coming from that. We were finding some stuff. Will do, Paula. I'll send you my email as well, and we'll look at doing that. But they sure look like greasers, though. Yeah. Cool. So I'll send you guys an email. We'll follow up. You guys stay tuned for this. I'll put something in my community profile after we have this discussion. I'll post something as soon as we're done here. We'll go over and support Coin Cruise auction, and then I'll go ahead and jump in, email, send you guys something, and bring you into that, because I think continuation of this would be fun. Looking at what Eric's been able to find, looking at what Paula knows about the thing that she's talked about, and again, I skipped the name, but just fascinating. It was something that we had maybe 8 to 10 people in the stream. They were there, they were seeing it live. If you want to go look at what we're talking about, you can go over to Copper Coins. This happened yesterday, and you can look at the stream. It was the 1954S reveal. So go over and look at that stream. You can see that. You can watch that. It's about 45 minutes or so. You can see exactly what they're talking about. I think the live chat is enabled, so you'll be able to follow live chat and follow along the discussion. Oh yeah, he's working with his wife at the shop right now, helping his wife out. So he's probably just doing this on a phone. So hey, Herman, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. But yeah, if you're definitely doing this, go check that out if you're interested in looking at that. Eric, I don't know. Can you, if you have access to that, can you do me a favor? Can you throw that? Can you throw that link from that episode? One of my mods, if you could reach out and grab the link from yesterday's Copper Coins, the 1954S. Throw that in there. If you guys have the opportunity, go check that out. You'll understand more what we're talking about, and then we'll follow that up with a conversation. So again, more information to come on that. But again, you know, when we're looking at, so Coin Cruise in here, I know they're preparing to get ready for their auction, so I don't know how engaged they're going to be in chat. But Coin Crew, if you're still on, I can't. Oh yeah, didn't I just say that? Yeah, I just said that. Oh man, I'm weird. Let me go through and see. I'll see if I can pull that up real quick, and I'll throw that in there myself. And if you haven't already done so, please go in and smash that like. I appreciate it. And if you're not a subscriber, I'm only, I think, 5 away from 1100. Anxious Stacker says I lost internet, I guess. That's not good. You should not be losing internet while you are on my live stream. That's bad form, dude. Let's see, 1954S. Let's get the share. Here's the link. All right, so here is the 1954S reveal. All right, so go check that out if you're interested in watching a little bit more about what happened during that particular one. Go over, watch that, check that out. Oh, thank you, Philip. I appreciate you doing that. It was a good conversation. It was pretty cool. It was fun to look at those particular items and to find this particular thing and do a little bit of troubleshooting to see if we can figure out what's going on. Anxious, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you coming back. And he shows the channel a lot of love. He's always sharing my videos in his playlists, linking them to my stream. So I appreciate the support, Anxious Stacker, on that. I really do. And again, congratulations on the win. So let's do something. I'm going to go ahead and do another exclamation point winner. If you haven't been entering into live chat, please make sure you're entering into live chat right now. I show that we have 20 people, 20 amazing people in chat. So let's go ahead and throw something in chat. I'm wondering if this command, did it work yet? Let's see. I don't think, because I don't remember seeing them come in. All my other ones are coming in. My email stuff is coming in. Yeah, man, that's frustrating. I wish I could figure out why my CloudBot is not working for my live streams. It took me a while to get it up and running the other day. But we were in probably for about 35 or 40 minutes, and then we were able to get CloudBot to work. But man, it has not been able to come up. Let's see, what was the, yeah, nobody can do the exclamation point winner but me. I'm the only one that can enter that in. That is an owner command. Otherwise, people would be giving all sorts of stuff away and causing chaos and havoc. So let's see. Let's get some more people in there. Chief Stacker, hey, what's going on, Chief? I appreciate you coming into the stream. You missed the component. We talked a little bit about the Viking coin. I'm going to be doing a Viking coin video. It should be released on Wednesday. Go check that out. It's a 2-coin set. It's a collaboration between Canada and Norway. That is a pretty cool 2-coin set. It's a clad set. It's not silver, but it is pretty cool. But keep an eye out for that on Wednesday, Chief. That'll be something. It's considering the longboat, so I think that's something that you'll enjoy. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to do one more winner. We're going to draw something. I'm not sure what I'm going to give away. Let's say I'm going to give away something that has been drawn by Bite Frost. All right, so I'm not sure which one it's going to be. Let me do something there. All right, I hope you're in. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. So the winner for the second GA is going to be Paula Bloom. Paula, congratulations. Now, again, public subscribers. Now, I know you're here, and I know you're a public subscriber. I do not know why that doesn't show up. So anyway, you're going to get a custom drawing from Bite Frost. Now, she's done a couple of them. So I'll reach out to you. I'll get your information. when I follow up with you and Eric. But congratulations on that. That's really cool. Congratulations on the win. Now, Paula is the only other person who has a, oh, I didn't bring it up her dag nabbit, who has a channel mug, and I'm actually working on getting some channel mugs. If you like channel mugs, if you were there on my impromptu stream last Thursday, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday night, I showed a couple of, yeah, probably. I show a couple of the items that I'm working on. I'm working on a hat. I'm working on a limited edition shirt with the logo that you see up here. Okay. And I'm doing coffee mugs. Now, you got a channel mug, Paula, right? From Mike Panucci. I think Mike. Oh, so you don't have to enter, because my magical powers of iWinner will reach in, and if you've been in stream, you're drinking from my mug right now. Yay. Okay. Coin Crew, you want a mug? I will send you one. That's not a problem. But I'm going to complete, there's two designs that I'm going to do. One is going to be, like I said, the Numismatic Nexus logo. And the other one is, it's just going to be, it's going to say Frostbite, and it's going to have the Frostbite logo. It's just going to be the top of the image, and then it has the Frostbite logo. It doesn't have the backing. It's just the image. It's going to be on each side. So I've got two of them in design. Got to get to work. See you soon. Take care, Eric. I'll be following up with an email. You should see that here a little bit earlier, or a little bit earlier this afternoon, a little bit later this afternoon. Hi. But thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being on stream. But I'll get you guys some information. I'm currently working on trying to do a mug for me, mug for me. Hey, Seven Stacks, appreciate you coming in. I've got that Wonder Woman, but I didn't send it out. I wasn't able to get to the post office to do that. I'll send that out tomorrow, okay? I apologize, I just wasn't able to get to the post office this weekend. Had too much stuff going on. Definitely do it. Yep, got it on Mike's. Outstanding. But I'll make sure, me as a plank owner, me is absolutely a plank owner. I will be doing a couple of these. Once I get them in, I get the designs done, and I get people that are interested and actually tell me that they want one. I will periodically be doing them. I'm going to try and bring in a few because I think they turned out really cool. On Thursday, when I had my impromptu live stream, I worked with a number of people who helped me create this logo. I already had kind of a basic standpoint from it. Sorry about the caps, guys, switching back and forth while getting ready. I don't mind you using caps. It makes it easier for me to see. So no worries. I do understand that nobody's yelling at me, so it's all good. No apology needed. But thank you for saying it anyway. Exactly. Now, you guys, I'm not joking. Because of the eye issues that I've been having, the caps have actually worked really well for me. So as long as we don't have any kind of argument going on where people all of a sudden switch to caps to say something like, you know, screw you, then I don't have a problem with it. My moderators are watching this. Again, not a problem. I don't mind it if it makes it easier for you. There are some people that only type in caps because it's easier for them to see. So again, that's not something I worry about. Now, if you're going to send me an email and you're going to be screaming and yelling at me using all caps, you probably won't get a response, or won't be a very kind one, because, you know, I'm more about talking to people and working through things than I am being yelled at. How long before you get them eyes fixed? Matter of fact, a week from Tuesday. August 8th is when I go in for surgery on my right eye. Now, I appreciate you asking. I'm getting a fantastic package ready for Ida. Chief, if it's coming from you, it's absolutely fantastic. I can imagine we'll have to get offline and talk a little bit. I'm interested to see what that is. But there's going to be about 4 days, 3 days where I'm not going to be able to be on screen. So I have done a lot of shorts, and so you're going to be seeing some upticks in shorts from me. I'm going to try and do more, and try to put out some videos and get stuff done. Thanks, Ashley Swag Fam. I appreciate that. And then sometime around the first part of September, after we get a good bill of health on this eye, and everything is good to go, then I'll go over and I'll do the left eye. I've asked them to separate it a little bit to ensure proper healing. I want to ensure that it doesn't affect me. This is going to prevent some time from work, and I can limit the downtime from work if I separate them instead of trying to do all at once and having some potential issue happen. I would rather have a problem only occur in one eye. So I appreciate you guys and gals. I really do. I appreciate the love and I appreciate the channel support. We've got about, Coin Crew, it's what, 15 minutes? Thanks, Shelbean. Thank you, Compton. Appreciate you guys. Got about 15 minutes, and then we'll be merging over into Coin Crew's live stream. So if I can get one of my mods to go grab that, pull that up, we'll be go ahead and walking into that. This is one thing that I try to do every Sunday. Just a Guy and the Squirrel have been two absolutely fabulous people to me. They have come alongside, pulled me under their wings, along with many of the folks from Livecoin Q&A. Livecoin Q&A has been an absolute blessing. I am having my cataracts removed. They're putting in, and I can't remember the name of the lens, but they're going to be pulling out the lens. 1520. Oh, 15220. I was like 1520. I missed something. Yes, 15 to 20 minutes. They'll be going live. So we'll be heading over and get into that. You can watch the pre-stuff. And I do that for Coin Crew because they've been so good to help me out. They've been so gracious and kind to me. What's up, C Happy Chappy? What's going on? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you popping into the stream. Gotta go. Time for church. Paula, love you a ton. Thank you so much for your support. Again, folks, if you're not subscribed to Livecoin Q&A, please go over subscribe to Livecoin Q&A. If you're not subscribed to Copper Coins, go over and subscribe to Copper Coins. If you're not subscribed to Livecoin Q&A, get over there and subscribe to Livecoin Q&A. Again, these three channels have bent over backwards to make sure that I have good quality information. They've been really good and gracious to me. I'm an avid supporter of them. Obviously, love, love, love Ida Herring. Ida has been absolutely wonderful to me as well. And so one thing that I do want to do is I want to post the link for St. Jude. This is one thing that I will be doing at every live stream. I did not do it yesterday, unfortunately, because the conversation was going so well that I had to quit and stop the conversation and get into the premiere train. Kind of caught me by surprise how quickly that that jumped up on me. I was like, whoa. Whoops. What did I just do? Ida is the best of the best. I absolutely love Ida. Ida is a key center focus, center point for our community. She does so much. She has such a gracious heart. There you'll see between the two coin crews, or the Livecoin Q&A and the Coin Crew, the top one is the live stream that we're going to be going to when we leave here. The bottom one is Livecoin Q&A. Philip the Board, thank you so much for posting those in there. I do appreciate you. I appreciate the support that you show me as a mod. Siren Silverstacker, David Carlisle, Eric Bayer, thank you guys so much for being mods. Me, you're a stud. Shellbean, you're a mod. Thank you so much for being a mod. I definitely appreciate you guys. A couple things that I do want to tell you as we get ready to go. Ida has invited me to be a part of the St. Jude team. I take great pride in being invited to partake with that team in the development of St. Jude. I really want St. Jude to progress and thrive. So ladies and gentlemen, if you win something from me and you want to send it to St. Jude, it's going to be going directly to Ida Herring. It'll go with your name on it, and that stuff will be going in there. I know that there's a lot of great channels supporting. They have wallets. They have all sorts of stuff that people are doing. Again, there's going to be some amazing things coming out. I can tell you there's some fantabulous gold that has already been donated. I know that Chief Stacker has sent in a few things. I've sent in a few things. Michael Kittle has sent in a few things. We have Ida has been sending in a bunch of stuff. We've got $1 Million Meg. We got the Lady Stackers. We've got John Howe supporting St. Jude and Wounded Warriors. We got so many people that are getting on board. The goal this year is $50,000. This is not a little. This is not a little goal. This is absolutely astronomical, but we can attain it. But the way we're going to attain it is through you, right? This is only going to be successful with all of you and through your generous donations, your support, and the sharing of the streams, the sharing of the information, the posting of the link that has been done. Again, St. Jude link is here. Okay, make sure you copy that, save that across. The community is absolutely amazing, Coin Junkie. We can pull together. We can reach that $50,000 mark. Absolutely. I don't see that we have any issue. But again, please make sure you're going to Ida Herring's channel. Make sure that you're sharing those out. If you want to do shorts about St. Jude, please do so. Please make sure it's there. Eric, thanks for coming back. We're about to wipe down. Man, I'm having such a difficult time talking today. We're going to be winding down and getting ready to head over to Coin Cruise live auction, their Sunday auction. If you haven't seen the preview video, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go take a bio break, get yourself some coffee, go watch that video beforehand. But again, ladies and gentlemen, St. Jude, okay, make sure, do some shorts. Now again, there's a couple requirements. Don't be including the St. Jude logo. Okay, that's one of the things that we've done. See Happy Chappie's already donated a few ounces. Outstanding. That's brilliant. I appreciate you guys doing that. But again, this is about the kids. Okay, it's all about the kids. And I'm sure that everybody in this channel, everybody in this stream knows somebody who's been affected by St. Jude in one form or another. So again, please share that out. If you're not a subscriber to Ida Herring, please go do so. I'm sure all you all subscribe to Ida. You guys are crazy if you're not. No preview video for CC today. It's a mystery. Oh, interesting. Well, they say yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. And they have some really good goodies, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and throw that live stream again. Let's go ahead and head over there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, go over there, tell everybody that you're coming from the Frostbite Raid. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like button before you leave. Throw a comment in here. I appreciate you coming in. I hope you enjoyed today's topics and the general chit chat. As always, thank you so much. I love you guys. We'll see you in the streams. Take care, be well, be blessed, and we will chat with you another day. Pay attention to my community page because I'm doing that impromptu live. I'll let you know when that's going to happen. We're going to have Paula Bloom and Eric Bayer, and we're going to talk about that 1954S. So stay tuned. All right, y'all take care.